Crits and Hits. What we're looking at today is building the Primaris Lieutenant and the Royal Warden from Warhammer 40k Imperium magazine issue 1. So let's get started with the Primaris. So we'll cut the sprue into 2, put the smaller base aside, I'll keep the 40. Okay, so with a blade veteran here for the Lieutenant, we'll start with body number 3. Go in. Fairly chunky mold gate there. Trim the body off. Same as before and usual with everything that we build. Let's just clean the mold lines up. Inside the legs there. Don't be afraid to get in, give it a good go. A little bit of the excess gate, so we'll trim him back flat to make it easy. And mold that armour back in on top of the collar. Okay. Then we are looking at the head. We don't get a choice here. This gent has his helmet on. Just go through, have a look at the mould line across the centre of the helmet there. Give that a clean up. Make it nice and neat. In the head, there's a small dimple there in the back for the divot on the body to hold. And then the front, on the front here, be careful when you cut it off. You've got the long peg there that goes onto the mold gate. Don't cut the peg off or the arm won't sit. Okay, give it a good trim. Nice and neat. Have a look where the mould lines are. There's extra sprue gate there on the holster, so we'll give that a clean up. Mould lines in this body don't look too bad. It looks like it comes through the edge rather than through the front. Alright, so head in, looking heroically to one side, being this is a HQ model. Easy build peg. Push it in tight. Okay. Then we look at the arm, number 5, with the Volkite pistol. Get on the smaller bits first, so you take the stress off those. Mold line comes in under the arm and across the bottom of the pistol, so just give that a clean up on the way through. And you can see it just across the top there as well, so we'll get in there. Okay. So the pistol goes onto this side, looking straight down the barrel with his heroic gaze. The power sword in its sheath. Trim that one off. Good thing about these being a push fit is later on you can go back, take the power sword back out and paint it up. A good tutorial for that can be found on Duncan Rhodes' website or on Warhammer Plus in the masterclass. Okay, sword on. We'll have a look around YouTube and you'll be able to find some other tutorials as well. It's well worth having a look-see about what you can do with your power swords. Some pretty sweet effects out there. Alright. Clean the arm up. Look at that. A few more lines through the middle. Nothing too over the top, just clean the knuckles up. The edge of the pauldron. And that pushes onto the left hand side. Onto the storm shield. Mold line right along the edge. Just go through, clean it up. If you want to, you can add some battle damage and nicks and scratches on as well if you want to. Grabbed a couple of issue ones, so when we come to paint, I'll do a few little extras up. We can see how they go. Storm shield on. Alright. One purity seal. Indicating he's a Blade Guard veteran. Onto the front of his armour, like so. Okay, then we have the backpack. Start at the bottom on that small piece. Around the top of the ball. Just be careful of the spikes of the aura. Alright. Clean the top of the ball up. Have a look at the mould lines running down through the backpack. Give it a clean up. Bottom where the sprue gate is. Clean the side of the ball up. Try to keep it looking natural. And then up onto the backpack itself. Push fit the backpack onto the back of your lieutenant, and then you're up to the last piece for the model, which is the tactical rock. Well, on this one, Necron skull. He's already killed one, and we're looking at issue 1. Look at that. Okay, one Primaris lieutenant, all finished up. We'll just change his base a little bit. There we go. Okay, on to the Royal Warden. Now this one has quite a few fine bits onto the sprues. we'll just have to be careful when we do that. Okay, so we start with the body at number 1. Just trim through again, starting up where you'd see the weakest parts. So you don't put too much stress on them. Mold lines running down the leg, so just give that a clean up. Through the underarm where the sprue gate was. Sprue gate on the side. Give the legs a clean up. There we go. We're looking at part number 2. Now this is a push fit through with the spine and the cables for the gun. So just come through nice and gentle. Take those bottoms off. And just get in here nice and neat, as close as you can. And just cut in the edge of the tassels there. Run through, give it a quick clean up, get rid of any mold lines again, and sprue gates. And that seats in the square there on the back side. So now we look at part number 3. What I'm going to do with part number 3 is I'm going to start on the vertebrae, right there, and the top of the head goes on. We've got the cable, and then last, because it's got the biggest support, we'll just cut the peg. Alright, so go through where the sprues are joined onto the cable. Run through, and it doesn't look like there's too many mold lines on this section. Across the top of the head, and the edges of the vertebrae, and through the middle like so. Now that slides through the back like so. And then it's asking us for part number 4. Again, on the parts that look the weakest, down the bottom here. And the edge of his mail. Watch the peg here that you don't cut it off, just on the edge of the gate. And the same here where the gas blaster goes on. Alright. Just go through the knuckles, clean those up where the mold line comes through. Clean the fail through here. Okay. We're looking at part 6. We'll cut that one off. Okay. So trim around the weapon. Get those weak points first. him out. So seat the arms and the weapon. Now you have to be careful with the next step. The face has to go on before the chest piece. Otherwise you won't get that big old Ash Campbell or Bruce Campbell jaw in there. So the Necrons are a cross between Ash from the Evil Dead and Arnie in T800. Pretty cool looking faces. Right. Go through, clean up the mold lines on the body. Keep the collarbones facing up. When you line it up, get him on the nub there. Quite fiddly little things. Let's just see what this one to line up a little better. I don't know why they said to put the face in before the chest piece, because he's getting in the way there. Okay, one Royal Warden together, and on the base with his tactical rock. Alright, so there we go. Issue 1, Primaris Lieutenant Bladeguard Veteran, and one Necron Royal Warden. In the next video that comes out with issue 2, we'll base coat the Necron. In issue 3, we'll be base coating the Lieutenant, along with the 3 assault intercessors you get with issue 3. Alright guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.